Elon Musk to Bill Gates, here are all the notable tech billionaires who jet worldwide in private planes. We all know how billionaires can afford to make lavish purchases beyond most people's means. And it varies from entire islands to trips to space to sports teams. You also have to know that many billionaires in the tech industry have put their riches into opulent modes of transportation, including private planes. Here are some of the tech billionaires who have spent a fortune on private jets for quick and easy travel. You don't expect them to wait in a queue for departure now, do you? Jeff Bezos. The richest man in the world owns a plane through his holding company, Popular Glen. His Gulfstream G650ER jet seats about 8 people and costs him an estimated $65 million. Mark Cuban. This guy owns 3 jets. The billionaire had said in a 2017 interview that owning a private plane was his all-time goal because they were the assets he valued the most in the time, and that bought him enough time. Yeah, enough time to take private vacations to anywhere he wants in the world. And do you know what, guys? Cuban placed himself in the Guinness Book of World Records when he bought his first plane, a Gulfstream V-Jet, in 1999. His $40 million purchase set the record for the largest single internet transaction. Suave of him, I must say. In addition to his Gulfstream V, Cuban also owns 2 Boeing business jets. He bought a Boeing 757 to act as the private transportation for the Dallas Mavericks, the NBA team he's held since 2000. He's also the owner of a 767 that he rents out for chartered flights. So, you heard that from me. So if you're looking forward to hiring a flight, well, you know whom to go to. Bill Gates. This big guy here once said that his private jet is his guilty pleasure and his big splurge. Gates reportedly owns a Bombardier BD-700 Global Express. This is a plane that can sit up to 19 people and costs an estimated $40 million. And he's been seen around the world jetting with this toy of his. Charles Simoni. Did you think that Bill Gates was the only Microsoft executive to buy a private plane with billions? Well, you better think again. Charles Simoni is a Hungarian software developer who oversaw Microsoft Office software creation till he left the company in 2002. In addition to owning a 233-foot yacht, Simoni also owns a Dassault Falcon jet. And you've got to know this. Flying in the Earth's atmosphere hasn't been enough for Simoni. I guess he got kind of bored with it. He's also been making trips to the International Space Station in 2007 and 2009. Larry Ellison. The Oracle founder, Larry Ellison, is known for his opulent nature and oft peculiar behavior. Ellison is one avid sailor and a licensed pilot. His son David is a stunt pilot who has been flying with his dad since he was 13. Not only does this guy own a Hawaiian island and a yacht racing team, but he also owns 2 military fighter jets. One of them is a decommissioned Soviet MiG-29 and a SIAI Marchetti S-211, which was previously used by the Italian Air Force. On the other hand, he reportedly told this guy, "Please don't fly that here," because they considered that toy of his a firearm. The late Steve Jobs. The late Steve Jobs owned a Gulfstream V that seats up to 15 people. Apple gifted the private jet and 10 million of the company's shares to Jobs instead of a pay raise in 2002. However, Jobs didn't leave the Apple family. Apple's revered head of product design, Jony Ive, bought the plane at a significant discount from the former CEO's widow, Laurene Powell Jobs. I've helped Jobs to design the aircraft and once joked that at least I didn't have to redesign anything here. Elon Musk. The CEO of Tesla and SpaceX has owned private planes since he launched his companies in the early 2000s. He once held a 1994 model Dassault Falcon 900 with seating for 12, but records show it was up for sale in 2016. Musk is said to own a Gulfstream G650ER. Once, Musk's private flight use had become a center of controversy in January 2019. The Tesla owner reportedly logged 150,000 miles in 2018 aboard his $70 million Gulfstream G650ER. Tesla is said to have paid $700,000 to cover Musk's extensive air travel. At a recent time, too, Musk used to pilot when he was launching Tesla and SpaceX, but decided to stop flying planes because of his responsibilities to his kids and his companies. Richard Branson. The Virgin Group founder, Richard Branson, is well known for his lavish investments in expensive toys. That can't go unnoticed. And that includes his 74-acre Caribbean resort called Necker Island, a $1 million underwater submarine and amphibious vehicle. However, this guy owns a Dassault Falcon 50EX, which he uses to fly to and from his private island in the British Virgin Islands. He previously had a Falcon 900EX, but said he needed a smaller plane to suit Necker Island. For longer trips, Branson takes flights on Virgin Atlantic, his commercial airline company, so he can spend time with the staff and passengers. What a humble dude. Branson's interest in sky travel aren't limited to planes, though. He became the first man to cross the ocean in a hot air balloon in 1987. And he flew 50 yards in an air glider in 2003 and planned to put tourists in space through his commercial spaceflight company, Virgin Galactic. Finally, we have Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Google's enormous growth has given its two founders, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, each a net worth of more than $50 billion. The two have gone ahead to invest heavily in a private fleet of planes through their shared holding company, Blue City Holdings. The Google founders bought their first plane in 2005, a Boeing 767-200 commercial airliner, which they purchased from the Australian airline Qantas for $15 million. They spent another $10 million on redesigning the interior to make it into a private jet that holds 50 people. It was also reported in 2012 that these guys, along with CEO Eric Schmidt, owned 8 planes. The fleet includes 2 Gulfstream Vs, a Boeing 757, and a Dassault Dornier Alpha Jet fighter plane. The Google co-founders don't just own private planes. They've got their remote terminals too, which they bought in 2013. The terminal is located at San Jose International Airport and costs a whopping $82 million to construct. It's run by Signature Flight Support and can be used by other businesses and executives in the Silicon Valley area. Google also runs a second airfield through their company's real estate subsidiary, Planetary Ventures, LLC. They took Moffitt's field reins in 2014 from NASA, who will lease it out to them for the next 60 years. Before that, Larry Ellison and Sergey Brin paid NASA an annual fee of more than $1 million to house their private jets in one of the Moffett Field's hangars. Thanks for watching our video on the private jets of the world's richest billionaires. Please do throw a like on the video. This helps the algorithm. Don't forget to comment too down below if you think I missed anything, and subscribe for catchier contents. Catch you later, guys.